Alright guys, we're back at the GMC Acadia. This is 2017 model. If you've watched any of the earlier videos on changing the oil, air filter, a few things. What we've gotten is a situation where the lights come on, everything comes on, you press the button to start, and it tries to start, but it doesn't actually make a full start. It just turns the motor over once, and that's it. So we actually jumped it off, brought it home, and I picked up a battery at the parts house. I'll show you something on that here in just a minute. But first, what I'm going to do is I have my toolkit that I carry in the car. It's just one that I bought from the parts house. It's got standard metric and a 3/8 ratchet and an adapter to get, you know, kind of an all-around tool set. So I want to see if I could actually replace this battery with that. And you might ask yourself, what in the world, how do you get this battery out? That's what I asked myself when I first looked at it. So I'm going to show you how to take this battery out and put a new one in so you can get back on the road. We'll say after the jump, and we drove it for about 45 minutes back to our house, got back in it. It's like, hey, you know, we might be able to make it to the store one more time, come back or whatever. And it was not going to happen. It would not start. So, time to put the new battery in. Alright, so if you were in a situation where you needed to jump your vehicle, of course you could come here, plug in, this would be your negative, and then your positive with the red cover. You could just flip this up, and there's a little post that sticks up, and I might get a different angle where you can see that, but it sticks up right there. You could clip your jumper leads or your charger right there, and you could catch it here, or you have a ground stud which is back here. So first of all, we have to take that off. 10 millimeter takes this bracket off, and I just I'd already had this off, and when I realized how ridiculous this is to take off, I decided I would go ahead and make a little video and help somebody out, hopefully. Okay, I've already loosened this. That was 10 millimeter also, and take the negative off first. Okay, and that'll kill everything in the car. Alright, so now you've got this wire here, and we need to figure out what to do with that. I don't like this setup because you have to mess with the computer, the ECU. These two tabs over here, we're going to lift up on these tabs. Okay, that's going to release this ECU, and we'll just pick it up and lay it over to the side. Okay, so now this frees this little plastic piece up, and what this does is lifts up. Okay, and then that allows this bracket to come straight off of that stud, and we'll just lay this over to the side. And yeah, it's just okay. There's a little I need to change my camera angle. There's a little bracket. This lays over to the side, and then it comes out the stud. And then this piece can just lay over and lay down. And next, something that might be quite intimidating is this positive little cover flipped up. And what you have is you have these little push tabs. So we push here. It has a little locks and an arrow there and right here. So if you flip that up, you'll see it. Press those down and then lift up. Okay, so then that comes off, and you can just turn this back and lift up, and the whole cover comes off. And so we'll just set that up on the top. Okay, so now you see the big mess. What in the world are we going to do with this? And it's like you homeowner or vehicle owner, sorry. So the vehicle owner cannot basically replace their battery anymore, is what they've done. But we'll do that anyway. We'll figure it out. What do we got? We got a 10 millimeter and a 13 millimeter. I've already broken these loose. To me, a battery should be a 1-2 step process. Take it out and you're done. This is a little tab that is exposed for you to jump or charge your vehicle. So we take this off, that lifts up, and we set this to the side. Okay, in order to release this top section, it's connected to your battery. So if you take your finger underneath and kind of push down on the top and pull out is what has to happen here. And there's a couple of these, so once you do that, it'll release this whole piece. Okay, and you gotta get, there's some on the back side also. So that's gonna allow the battery to come out this direction. Okay, so this is where my, this is the bracket that holds the battery in place. It doesn't rock around, and this is where my this is where my little vehicle set has pretty much failed. I need one more extension is what I need. I can do the job. But being as I'm at home, I'm going to go ahead and grab another extension. So much better when you have the right tool. Alright, I did not have to take that bracket bolt all the way out, and I just loosened it a little bit, and there's like some other little wedge underneath that I was able to pull out, and it's giving me enough slack. So now I'm able to pick the battery up. I slid the battery this direction and was able to lift it off the backside catch, move that out. So now it should be free for the most part, and it's just going to be a little hassle to get out. And it is pretty warm. Okay, there she is. This is a 660 cold cranking amp, 80 amp hour AC Delco battery. What I want to show you is I have my brand new battery back here, and it's charging. But what I did, I plugged it in, and sometimes you might have a weak or lower battery than others. This is a brand new battery, and when I put it on a 10 amp charge right here, and it actually started drawing around 6 amps when I started. It's probably been an hour at least. And so now you can see that we're pretty much fully charged. It's not taking any, there's no amps being sent to the battery. So when you see this and you're way over here, that's how many amps you're sending to the battery. And on 10 amps right here, I think it started out, it was about 8. So it probably would still be charged enough to start the car, and then the car would charge it from there. But I don't like to, being as I'm at home, I want to go ahead and give it a full charge. I think that's the best way to do it. That way you start off with a good charged battery in your car on the first start. So that's the little tip there if you want to use that. Alright, my vehicle did not have a vent tube. This particular battery is a Super Start. I've had really good success with these. If you're familiar with these, you probably know where they come from. I'm not being paid or anything by them. I've just had really good success with these. They last, I've had them last 5 years, so pretty good in a heavy truck. So I like these. It came with a little 90-degree vent tube, so if you have a tube, you might want to stick it on there. This vehicle doesn't have one. I may add one later. There is a plug, and my old battery had this plug. This package on the side was supposed to come with a plug, and I don't see one in there. There was a little hole, so we might have misplaced that somewhere. Okay, it's time to get this thing installed. Positive post is going to go towards the back. Of course, that's the way this other one came out. And see if we can get it in. And dodge all of the contraptions. Now, we had it raised up in the back. Raised up in the back. I'm going to pull it towards me and see if I can get it latched in. So I was at the parts house, and the guys there sold me these Super Start, same terminal protectors. It's like a felt type deal, and you just slip these over the terminals, and that's supposed to keep the corrosion down. It said it has some kind of coating on it. I read the instructions, and I didn't see where they say to wear any kind of special gloves, so I guess it's not harmful to your skin. Okay, so we've got the all these wiring harness, I guess, fuse bracket. It's snapped down on the battery, and what I want to do is just make sure that was all in place first before I tighten the bracket. And now it looks like our positive will connect properly, and it's in place. And now what I will do is push this and get it to where it's secure. I just didn't want it to be off to one side or whatever. Now I'm going to go ahead and tighten down the bracket here that holds the battery. 13 millimeter. I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up. And while I'm tightening, I'm going to tighten my positive post. And then this side will be done. Okay. I'm not too worried about the torque specs. Let me show you how this little connector comes together on this. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to see this. Get my hand out of the way. I'm taking the bracket this direction, and what I'm going to do, there's a square hole, and you have to stick that bracket in that square hole, and then feet behind, there's like a U cut out, a slot cut out, and then the top part of the bracket goes on the back side. Now we're ready to put our frame, little piece in, and that should line up. I'm just going to put the little galvanized bolt in over here. It's going to be a little hard to see here, but what we want to do is take this plastic piece, and there's two slots here, and they go on the metal bracket that you pulled off, of course, before. And then also align there we go. You got to align the stud that you just installed. And we'll lay the ECU back over in place. And I'll go ahead and snap that in with the two clips. Make sure it's aligned. Put our 10 millimeter nut on. Tighten it down. Alright, last bolt to snug here. right there, that one's done. Now we've got these tight, that's tight. These two bolts are tight. We're ready to install our cover back on. So we'll take it and push, kind of have it in the vertical position and push down, and that should lock it in. And then we'll secure our two clips here. Alright, so now everything is complete here. Battery is secure, and we're ready to install the ground. And that was quite a load there coming off of that battery. Okay, I got to loosen that one. Alright, so that completes the install. I was able to do it with my little tool set that I keep in the car. So that's a good thing. And now I'll have to go and update the My GMC, saying when I put the new battery in, it'll give me records. And it also helps with the car value if you keep track of that. Alright, so thanks for watching. If this helped you out, if you have any tips or pointers about this video, you can leave them in the comments. Or I would like to hear see a thumbs up and hear that it helped you out. So I do appreciate you watching. Hope you have a good day.